Here's where we stand on getting a coronavirus vaccine. While coronavirus keeps spreading and killing with impunity, the world waits for a vaccine that could quash the pandemic. But details and timelines keep shifting. Here's the latest on where we stand in the race for a vaccine. When will a COVID-19 vaccine be available to the public? No one's sure yet, but the target is sometime in early 2021. Vaccines in development around the world are in various stages of testing. Dr. Anthony Fauci, director of National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases, said he's confident one of the vaccine candidates will be proven safe and effective by the first quarter of 2021, but it's not clear which candidate shows the greatest promise yet. In the meantime, the US government is helping companies such as Moderna ramp up development of their candidate vaccines so that if they are proven to work safely, they can be rolled quickly. By the beginning of 2021, we hope to have a couple of 100 million doses, Fauci said. Dr. Francis Collins, director of National Institutes of Health, gave a similar forecast. If all goes well, maybe as many as 100 million doses by early 2021 would be possible, said Collins. But many doctors say getting an effective vaccine out by January is a highly ambitious goal. Everything will have to go incredibly perfectly if that's going to happen, said Dr. Larry Corey, an expert in virology, immunology, and vaccine development. So the question comes, who's making the vaccines? Dozens of research teams from around the world are working to develop or test coronavirus vaccines. As of mid-July, there were more than 120 candidate vaccines, the World Health Organization said. Some are farther along in their trials than others. As of June 4, 10 vaccine candidates are in human trials, 4 in the US, 5 in China, and 1 in the UK, the WHO said. Because we have a number of these trials and they all use a different strategy, I am optimistic that at least 1, maybe 2, maybe 3 will come through looking like what we need, Collins said. We want to hedge our bets by having a number of different approaches so that it's very likely that at least one of them and maybe more will work. Now the question arises, who participates in the trials? Trial participants are typically volunteers who have not previously been infected with the virus. Neil Browning, a network engineer in Washington state, said he volunteered because of the pain that the world is suffering from. I can see the deaths and I feel like anybody else who was in my shoes and close to the research facility and was a healthy person. I hope would step up and do the same thing for mankind, he said. Browning was one of 45 participants in the first phase of Moderna's vaccine trial. He said the 45 participants were broken down into 3 groups of 15. One group got a small 25 microgram dose of the vaccine. After 2 weeks, that group showed no major adverse effects from the vaccine, so the second group, which got 4 times that at 100 micrograms, was introduced to their dose of the vaccine, Browning said. After the second group showed no major problems, the third group got 10 times the dosage of the first group, 250 micrograms. Browning said he has received 2 doses of the experimental vaccine and felt completely normal afterward. He said the trial will likely involve a challenge study where people will be exposed to the actual virus so that it's not just academic and we can make sure that the vaccine is actually effective. Browning said he didn't tell his family he was going to volunteer, for study until the last minute, and now they think it's pretty cool that dad's doing something like this. I think it's important for them to learn that as a member of society, you need to help do whatever you can, he said. Now, the other question that surges up is how much would a coronavirus vaccine cost? This has not been firmly established. The aid group Medicines Sans Frontières or Doctors Without Borders has urged world leaders to demand pharmaceutical companies sell any successful COVID-19 vaccines at cost price, that is, without profit. Everyone seems to agree that we can't apply business as usual principles here, where the highest bidders get to protect their people from this disease first, while the rest of the world is left behind, said Kat Elder, MSF Senior Vaccines Policy Advisor. Now, you might be thinking, how effective or long lasting will the vaccine be? Not all vaccines are created equal. If you get vaccinated against polio, you're probably protected for life. But if you get a flu shot, you might still get that season, though probably with less severe symptoms. And you'll need a different flu shot the next season. Researchers say at this point there is no way to predict how effective or long lasting a novel coronavirus vaccine would be. But like some vaccines, multiple doses might be needed to get the desired immune response. Collins said the phase 3 trials will reveal whether one or two infections will be necessary. Another question might be hitting you up is that, are we sure we will get an effective COVID-19 vaccine? No, while researchers are optimistic, there is no guarantee. There are some viruses that we still do not have a vaccine against, said Dr. Nabarro, a professor of global health at Imperial College London. We can't make an absolute assumption that a vaccine will appear at all, or if it does appear, whether it will pass all the tests of efficacy and safety. And if people don't develop long-lasting immunity against the new coronavirus, a vaccine might never work as well. So, what should we do if we don't get a COVID-19 vaccine? Nabarro said, it's absolutely essential that all societies everywhere get themselves into a position where they are able to defend against the coronavirus as a constant threat, and to be able to go about social life and economic activity with the virus in our midst.